When you picture a cruise, you probably see the brochure version. Crystal blue waters, gourmet buffets, Broadway shows, and days of carefree fun at sea. But what those glossy ads don't show to the 24 million cruisers that set sail around the world every year is the hidden side of cruising. A world of tricks, traps, and little-known truths that could make or break your holiday. Behind the polished smiles and endless sunshine, there are secrets the cruise lines would rather you never discover. From pricing games that could save you hundreds, to safety flaws hidden in plain sight, to loyalty schemes that aren't as rewarding as they sound. Once you know what's really going on, you'll never see a cruise ship the same way again. So we're going to reveal 20 shocking facts that cruise lines don't want you to know today. And the best part? Some of these secrets can actually work in your favor if you're clever enough to spot them. Let's start with one that could put money back in your pocket before you even step on board. Secret number 1. The price drop trick. They hope you never notice. Cruise fares aren't fixed like plane tickets. They rise and fall depending on sales, demand, and timing. What most passengers don't realize is that if the price drops after you've booked but before your final payment date, you can often rebook at the lower fare or ask for the difference back as onboard credit. Some lines even honor drops after you've paid in full, but only if you ask. And that's the catch. Most guests never think to check again once they've booked. That's free money the cruise line happily pockets. Smart cruisers set weekly price alerts or keep an eye on fares until the very last day. The difference can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars saved. And saving money here could mean more room in your budget for extras like drinks or specialty dining, which, as you'll see later, come with their own expensive traps. Secret number 2. Old ships versus mega giants. The difference they don't spell out. Here's something cruise ads never highlight. Not all ships in the same line are equal. New mega ships are floating cities, packed with Broadway-style theaters, robot bartenders, and endless restaurants. Step onto an older ship from the very same company, and suddenly your dream vacation looks more like a floating motel with one small pool, dated buffets, and far fewer options. And the kicker? The price difference can be massive. That week-long cruise on the brand new ship might cost thousands more than the exact same itinerary on its older cousin. The secret is knowing how old your ship is, when it was last refurbished, and how big it really island. Choose wisely, because it could mean the difference between a once-in-a-lifetime experience or 7 nights of underwhelming dinners and cramped decks. And speaking of choices, just wait until we get to the all-you-can-drink packages. They look tempting, but there's a reason cruise lines push them so hard, and it has everything to do with your wallet. Secret number 3. The drink package math that could sink your budget. Unlimited drinks sounds like the ultimate holiday indulgence, right? But here's the fine print they don't want you to calculate. Most drink packages run $60 to $100 per person per day before tips. To break even, you need to down 6 or 7 cocktails every single day. The trick is, if one adult in a cabin buys the package, every adult in that cabin is usually required to buy it too. Suddenly, what looked like a fun splurge becomes a massive daily bill. On port days, when you're exploring ashore, you'll barely have time to drink enough to get your money's worth. The cruise line knows most people won't do the maths. They just hear unlimited and swipe their card. But smart travelers compare the numbers and often spend less by paying as they go or by grabbing smaller soda, coffee, or wine packages instead. And if you think that's sneaky, just wait until we get to the all-inclusive dining promises. Let's just say the main dining room hides a little loophole that first-timers almost never use. Secret number 4. The dining room hack. They won't tell first-timers. If you've ever left the main dining room thinking the portions were tiny, that's not a mistake. It's intentional. Smaller plates mean less waste and lower costs for the cruise line. But here's the hidden truth. You can order as much as you want. 2 appetizers? Sure. A second entree? Go ahead. 3 desserts? No one will bat an eye. On special nights, like lobster night, some savvy passengers ask for a second tail without hesitation, and it's all included in your fare. The catch is, they don't advertise it. They'd rather you think small portions are just the standard. But once you know the hack, you'll never leave the table hungry again. And food isn't the only place where the cruise line lets you think small. The very design of your cabin can play tricks on you. In fact, the wrong move can turn your cozy balcony into a wind tunnel that's strong enough to cause chaos. Secret number 5. The balcony wind tunnel. That can turn dangerous. Balcony cabins are sold as the height of luxury. Morning coffee with an ocean view, sunset wine with sea breezes. But no one warns you about the physics experiment waiting in your room. If you open your cabin door and your balcony door at the same time, you've just created a powerful wind tunnel. Papers, clothes, even trays of room service can get sucked into the gust as if a hungry black hole paid you a visit. Doors slam so hard they've actually injured passengers. Crew members often swap stories about hats flying overboard or cabins left in complete disarray from a single mistake. The simple fix is to never open both doors at once. Always close the balcony before stepping into the hall. It's a small rule, but one that could save you from chaos or worse. And speaking of chaos, just wait until you hear what really happens during embarkation. Because the boarding process isn't just about lines and luggage, it's about what you might be bringing on board without even realizing it. Secret number 6. The embarkation scanner isn't as strict as you think. When you first step into the terminal, it feels like airport security as bags pass through the scanner and people have to be checked by a metal detector. Most passengers assume nothing gets by. But here's the secret. Cruise ship security checks aren't nearly as strict as airports. They even become more lax after COVID-19. People have smuggled on bottles of alcohol in shampoo bottles, full cases of soda disguised as water, even contraband items the cruise lines would rather not talk about. Some get caught, many don't. And while the cruise line won't exactly encourage it, they quietly know it happens all the time. Why? Because for them, the real money isn't in catching you. It's in what you'll buy on board once you've run out of what you brought. But while some guests sneak things in, others are stunned by what gets taken away at the port. And the list of banned items may surprise you. We'll talk about this in the next secret. Secret number 7, the strange list of things you can't bring. You'd expect knives, fireworks, and weapons to be banned. But did you know cruise lines can confiscate irons, extension cords, candles, and even some snacks? Anything that poses a fire hazard or competes with their onboard sales is fair game for security to remove. Passengers have reported losing perfectly normal items like surge protectors or even certain electronics. You might not find out until your bag is flagged and held aside. If you want to avoid a frustrating start to your holiday, check the cruise line's banned items list before you pack. It changes more often than you'd think. And once you're finally on board, don't relax just yet, because the next secret involves germs that no amount of hand sanitizer can fully protect you from. Secret number 8, the outbreak. They don't want to talk about. Cruise lines would rather not advertise it, but outbreaks of norovirus, the dreaded stomach bug, still happen at sea. Even with endless hand sanitizer stations, the virus spreads fast in such a closed environment. One sick passenger can quickly turn into dozens, sometimes hundreds. When that happens, entire buffets may be shut down. Crews scrub every surface non-stop, and guests are urged to stay in their cabins. But of course, the official marketing will never mention it. The good news is you can lower your risk by washing your hands constantly, skipping shared tongs at the buffet, and using your elbows or napkins to touch public surfaces. But germs aren't the only hidden threat. The ocean itself holds one of the most dangerous secrets of all. Secret number 9. Overboard incidents happen more than you think. It's the nightmare scenario no one likes to talk about, passengers going overboard. Most people think it never happens until it does. Dozens of overboard incidents are reported each year across cruise lines, and not all end in rescue. While modern ships have cameras and some detection systems, they're not foolproof. And in the vast ocean, response time is critical. Sometimes, a rescue is impossible. The cruise lines rarely publicize these incidents because nothing shatters the illusion of carefree fun faster than imagining the risks of being lost at sea. But knowing it happens is a sobering reminder. Stay safe, avoid risky balcony behavior, and keep an eye on those late-night decks. And while that's chillin', the next secret isn't about danger, it's about money. Because even when you think you found a deal, the cruise line has one last trick hiding in your booking. Secret number 10. The port fees sleight of hand. Look closely at your cruise fare and you'll see a mysterious add-on, port fees and taxes. These charges often run into hundreds of dollars per person, and they're not always explained clearly. Here's the trick. Sometimes the taxes and fees include costs the cruise line itself chooses to pass along, not just government charges. They're folded into the fine print so you barely notice them until checkout. In fact, 2 passengers on the same itinerary might pay slightly different fees depending on when they book, and you'll never hear about it in the glossy brochure. The bottom line is always read the full breakdown of your fare. And speaking of prices that aren't what they seem, wait until you hear what really happens when your onboard account credit suddenly disappears. Secret number 11. The vanishing onboard credit trick. Onboard credit feels like free money. You might get it from a booking bonus, a reprice, or even as compensation. But here's the part cruise lines don't shout about. That credit can disappear if you're not careful. Some credits are restricted, meaning you can't use them on gratuities, casino play, or certain shops. Others expire the moment your cruise ends. No refunds, no transfers. And in rare cases, passengers report credits mysteriously vanishing mid-cruise if accounts get adjusted. The takeaway is always ask what your credit covers and spend it early in the voyage so you don't get caught out. Because just when you think you've outsmarted the cruise line with free perks, the next secret shows how they're quietly tracking your every move. Secret number 12. How every step you take is watched. It might feel like a floating resort, but cruise ships are some of the most heavily surveilled environments on Earth. Cameras line almost every hallway, deck, elevator, and public area. Add in your key card, or worse, the newer medallion trackers, and suddenly the ship knows where you are, what you bought, and when you return to your cabin. Officially, it's for safety and convenience. Lost child? They can track them instantly. Drop your sunglasses? Staff might pinpoint where you left them. But make no mistake, this data is also gold for marketing. They'll know which bars you visit, which shops you linger in, and exactly when to tempt you with targeted offers. And speaking of secrets hidden in plain sight, the next one reveals the mysterious codes you'll sometimes hear whispered among the crew. Secret number 13. Code words in plain sight. To keep people calm, crew members often talk in code. Alpha means there's a medical emergency. Bravo means there is a fire. Oscar means there's a man overboard. And Operation Bright Star means there's a serious injury. You might hear these words over the radio or in the crew's whispers without understanding what they mean. The staff will sometimes even use codes to talk about difficult customers right in front of them. These signs let the crew act quickly without getting scared. If you hear a code word, stay cool and clear the area. It's the crew's job to see what needs to be done. If you hear these phrases, don't panic. The codes are designed to keep order while the crew jumps into action. But as calm as it all sounds, the next secret proves life on board is anything but calm for the people serving you every day. Secret number 14. The harsh reality of crew life you never see. Your server may smile when they see you, but life isn't easy for them. The crew works for 10 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, for months at a stretch. Their living spaces are small, and they don't get much time off. Even so, they stay positive to make sure your trip is perfect. When they're far from home and family, a simple thank you or kind word can mean a lot. Leave generous tips, be patient, and remember that nice people on the cruise make tough days easier for the crew. Secret number 15. The medical mirage. Yes, there are medical doctors on cruise ships, but they're only for minor problems like seasickness, cuts, and infections. People with serious health problems, like heart attacks, strokes, or major injuries, often need to be taken to the closest port. Getting emergency help can cost $10, $0 to $50, $0 or more, and many guests don't know this until it's too late. So make sure you're healthy before you go sailing, and always have travel insurance that covers both medical care and getting you home if you fall sick. It's a small cost that could protect you and your money. Secret number 16. The luggage priority game. Not every piece of luggage is handled the same. VIPs and high-fare passengers are sometimes given priority by cruise line. This can cause other bags to be held up or even pushed to the side when the storage room is limited. This means that your bag might not get to your cabin for hours, or even worse, it might get lost. Always keep important things in your carry-on luggage, like medicines, IDs, travel papers, and valuables. If you don't want to lose something, never put valuable things in checked bags. Secret number 17. The pollution problem. Even though they say they are eco-friendly, some ships have been caught putting garbage, oil, chemicals, and even plastics straight into the ocean. Even though there are rules, people still break them, especially in waters that aren't closely watched. One of the dirty truths about the cruise business is this hidden pollution. Pick cruise lines that have strong environmental certifications and back businesses that invest in better technologies. Your choice helps the cruise lines that care about saving the oceans they use to make money. Secret number 18. The man. Overboard cover up. With today's technology, you'd think that going overboard would set off an alarm right away. But only about 10% of cruise ships are fitted with advanced man-overboard detection systems. The rest relies on witnesses or watching CCTV footage. So be careful whenever you're near railings and balconies. Don't think that the ship is always looking out for you. You're still responsible for your own safety. Secret number 19. Unequal treatment by country. Here's a truth most passengers never realize. Your passport can affect your cruise. Two passengers on the same itinerary may pay different deposits or gratuity rates depending on their country of residence. Cancellation deadlines vary by region. Promotional perks offered in the US might be completely absent in the UK or Australia. And while unfair pricing is bad enough, the final secret is the most shocking of all. Secret number 20, the hidden contract that puts cruise lines in control. When you book a cruise, you agree to a passenger contract most people never read. Buried in that fine print are powers you probably didn't know the cruise line had. The cruise line can search your bags or cabin, lock you up if they want to, or even take you off the ship at your own cost during the trip. You are not owed any money if ports are skipped, and they are free to use your pictures and ads. So always read the fine print carefully before you sign it. Those are the 20 secrets cruise lines don't want you to know. These facts aren't just for fun. They can make or break your trip, but knowledge is power. Now you know how to protect your wallet, safeguard your health, and outsmart the industry. So which secret surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments, share this with a friend planning a cruise, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more experience-changing cruise tips. The best travelers are the ones who know what's really happening behind the scenes.